Peace, it's Natia Sisia. So I wanted to begin to go in on the benefits of the water fast. Not really a water fast. I don't really like to use that terminology, but in a way, you kind of are fasting from other drinks and beverages. And so the overall objective of doing this water reset, water fast, whatever you would like to call it, is to begin to understand what your cravings really are referring to, what they really mean. So as you start to venture on your journey to become a vegan, some people experience cravings. I haven't necessarily experienced the cravings that I hear about, but for some people it's a reality, it's a fact. So I wanted to start basically where more people are probably going to have trouble, and where more people, definitely do fall off the path of veganism, and that has to do with the cravings. So with this, the overall objective again is to help you to become vegan, to help you to become more revolutionary. Of course, if you can just jump right on the revolutionary path, definitely link up. That's what I'm talking about. Subscribe to King Noble's channel and link up with the God over there. I'm helping out in other ways where people, they try to make excuses and try to make barriers. So I'm providing this information so that hopefully once people tap into this, they can begin to open up their consciousness, their awakened mind, and we can get things on and popping. So you definitely want to understand what your cues and your triggers are when it comes to you consuming anything other than water. And of course, all of this can transcend over to eating meat. If you're on a vegan path, all of this can transfer over to that. So right now, though, I'm going to try to focus on the water. But as I'm speaking, think about how this also applies to you craving meat, or craving cheese, or craving a lot of things that people tend to crave while they're on the road to veganism, or if you're already on that path. Apply this to your struggles there, your whatever it is you're dealing with there. So I think there's about 8 major triggers, and again, there's triggers and cues, and I'm going to kind of differentiate it. The triggers should refer to things that are more subjective, such as your preference, such as, for example, you would say, I like the rain, whereas your cues would be more objective, such as it is raining. It's more of a happenstance. It's more something that's kind of more influential on your life, even though what I'm going to talk about, you're going to find similarities in both, but I'll explain how triggers are a little more, what can I say? They're not so influential. I'm going to say the same word again. They're not so influential on your decision-making process, where cues are something that is kind of like, it's kind of unavoidable that you have to deal with that, or that you're going to come across that type of scenario or setting. So I think there's about 7 triggers, and these triggers are there's social gatherings. Social gatherings affect whether or not you consume water, or what you consume, or what then there's also people also drink things for energy. So we're talking about, why do people drink the things they drink, right? They drink them for social reasons. They drink them for energy. They drink them for nourishment. They drink them for enjoyment. They drink things because they're addicted. They drink things to relax. And there's one more thing, and for pleasure. So to go over it, if you look at social reasons, when you're you might be picking up something to drink. You might not necessarily have been wanting to drink something, but say, for example, you get something for someone else, while you're on the way to the store, or on your, I don't want to use the Matrix scenes, but, say you get something for somebody else to drink, right? You might just say, okay, well, since I'm here and since I can't think of anything else, I'm just going to pick this up, right? That might be a coffee, that might be a smoothie, that might be a cup of tea, that might be an energy drink, that could be anything, right? So you're getting, your friends are influencing you, or your family members, or people that you come across, or people that that you basically associate with. It could be coworkers. It could be, you could be at an event and everybody's going for the carrot juice. You could be in any type of social setting where you are influenced to drink something other than water, and again, to consume something other than a vegetarian or vegan meal. Then another thing people are triggered to drinking something other than water could be in the case of for energy. You might be feeling low on energy, right? And right now the energy drinks are very big, they're very high and popular. People are, drinking what do they call these things? Red Bull, Monster, all these other drinks, they got a whole bunch coming out now, 5-hour energy drink. So people are consuming those things supposedly for energy, right? But you would be surprised to learn that you could actually get energy from water. And I'm going to talk about that in some other videos. This one, I just want to introduce you to the cues and the triggers that are preventing you from drinking water, because 80% of the population is dehydrated. So we got to look at why are they dehydrated. And some of these triggers and cues are the reasons. So for energy, people might also, they might consume, what are some other things? They might consume a smoothie. I'm not sure if I said that, but or a sugary drink, something very high in sugar. People have pretty much associated sugar with giving energy, and it does give energy to some degree. But of course, you can crash from this energy, just like you can crash from these sugary energy drinks, right? They go hand in hand. So you don't want to drink something that you're going to crash later. And of course, coffee is another one of those things. People wake up in the morning, they can't do without coffee. They can't do without coffee 7, or 8 times a day, right? Then people also drink for enjoyment, right? So you might, be at I hate to use these matrix terms, but people are in the matrix that do these things. So I guess I'm going to have to, you might be at a game, you might be, at work, working, doing construction, and, you might drink a beer or something to enjoy yourself. People have associated drinking a beer with, enjoyment, because it's like you're a slave so often and so much that, these little trinkets and these little rewards have been associated with enjoyment. And I hate the fact that my lips are so dry. I need water. I'm dehydrated. I do so much things that sometimes I forget to drink water, but I'm going to take care of that later. And, that's part of the reason why I'm doing this cleanse. Because even though I drink water, I don't drink enough water. I've had this problem for a long time. So, it's something I definitely want to deal with myself. But you could see how even though you drink water, you could still be dehydrated. And there's a reason for that. But I'll touch on what the types of water are that you want to be drinking to prevent that. Then, you also have nourishment. People do indeed drink water for nourishment. That's one of the only times that you might drink water, is when you're actually like at your rock bottom and there's nothing else, and you're like, okay, I need something in me. I need something to, nourish my system. So you might drink water, but often people will bypass the water and they'll go for coconut water, or they'll go for the aloe water, or I'm not sure, whatever, they'll go for flavored waters and a lot of these other things, when sometimes just water would suffice, right? So people also drink for another reason. We touched on social, we touched on for enjoyment, we touched on for energy. People also drink for health, right? So we got to question that with health. People tend to drink energy drinks, again, smoothies, right? Sugary fruit smoothies, not necessarily the vegetable smoothies. They tend to lean more towards the fruit smoothies because they're sweeter, and for health reasons, and also protein shakes. So with that, if you're drinking for health reasons, you want to start to question yourself. How many times are you saying to yourself, I'm drinking this because I'm trying to be healthier? You're basically, on the flip side, you're really telling yourself you're not healthy, right? And if you're drinking protein shakes, you're probably telling yourself, you don't have enough muscles, and that you need to bulk up, and that so your health reason has really become, or can become, negative self-talk. So you got to be careful not to do that. And also, be careful to make sure you are drinking water for health reasons. Water is one of the most healthiest drinks that you can consume, right? So you definitely want to be careful that you're not giving yourself negative self-talk while you're consuming these other drinks, because you got the marketing, you got the advertisement that is giving you the negative self-talk, that is giving you the imagery that if you only drank this energy drink, this protein shake, or this alternative drink, that you would be healthier, fitter, bulkier, stronger. So you got to be careful you're not giving yourself that type of negative talk. So another reason that people drink is for relaxation. We're going to talk about relaxation, right? And relaxation is kind of different for enjoyment. For relaxation, people will tend to drink tea, and sometimes even maybe a chocolate drink, something rich, right? They might drink these things for relaxation, right? But again, you got to make sure that you're not drinking these things in place of water, because depending on what you're drinking, you could be definitely taking away your water, not replenishing your water reserves, or just not drinking enough water. Because once this stuff gets into your body, these teas and these rich drinks or whatever you're drinking for relaxation, once it gets into your system, those other molecules and elements and whatever and minerals, and they're all going to split off from the water, right, molecules. So it's like, if you were to drink an 8-ounce glass of tea, are you really drinking an 8-ounce glass of water per se? Because it's going to become infused. And I know there's articles and there's all these other blogs and videos talking about that. It doesn't necessarily, you are drinking the equivalent amount of water. But I would kind of beg to differ, just because this water has now been infused. This water has now been programmed and activated and told to do something. And if it's not told to separate, if the molecules from those tea or whatever, if they're not told to separate from the H2O, if they're not told to separate from the water molecule, it might be doing something different in your body. So it's like, it's good to drink your teas and whatnot, but you definitely want to make sure that your water level has been topped off, or that you're going to top it off for the day. Because again, if you're drinking a tea that is a diuretic, that is making you go to the washroom, you still might be thirsty. You might be thirsty later on, right? So another reason that people might drink something other than water could be, what did we say? We touched on socially, for health. We touched on for enjoyment, for relaxation, and we touched on nourishment. There's also addicted. Again, this is one of the number one reasons that people don't drink water, is because they are addicted to something else, right? You're addicted to the sodas. You're addicted to the energy drinks. You're addicted to the caffeinated drinks, right? This could be a latte. This could be coffee. This can be tea, again, caffeinated. Anything with high caffeine, anything with addictive elements. They're putting things in the drinks, molecules, and they're putting these chemicals in the drinks to keep you coming back for more, where you can't just drink a little bit. Where in the world can people drink a gallon of, or a liter, or whatever you want to call, of straight soda? How do you do that? How do you would have to be addicted to be drinking these big old gulp containers and cups, right? But you would never necessarily think to drink that much water. People think it's unnatural to drink that much amount of water, but you will drink that much amount of a fruit, sugary, it's not even really fruit. I mean, this is acid, right? You could literally clean your car, the metal in your car with this stuff, right? So you got to be careful not to be doing that, right? Because you're not just addicted to the flavor, you're addicted to how the flavor, the taste makes you feel. The advertising has worked on you, the smell. So they do a lot. And there's actually websites that you can go to, and you could order your own flavor enhancers, or you could order your own chemicals that make people addicted to whatever it is you're trying to sell. When I used to be selling shea butter lip balm and stuff like that, I came across a website where I could literally make people want to put on unlimited amounts of lip gloss, just to increase my sales and my bottom line. But of course I never did that, right? And so another reason people drink stuff are triggered. Remember, we're talking about triggers. Another reason people drink things other than water is for pleasure. And this is kind of, again, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned this, I hope I didn't, but it's a little different from enjoyment, and it's a little different from relaxation. So no, I didn't mention it. Pleasure, drinking for pleasure, it could be anything from drinking something to make yourself, again, feel better. You could, you'd be surprised how many people do drink alcohol every day, especially when they come home from work. They drink that wine. They can't do without that wine. I'm hearing that they get the trembles if they don't drink the wine. So it's like they're drinking the wine for pleasure, under the guise of pleasure, right? But also drinking this wine to feel elite, to feel superior, for superficial reasons, right? So if you're drinking wine and you're drinking alcohol and you're drinking, you might be drinking the expensive drink that nobody else can afford among your peer group or among your friends, among your family, just to, show off or whatever. But in the long run, you might be hurting yourself just doing that. So you got to be careful that that's not the reason that you're drinking these drinks. So those were the triggers, things to trigger that might trigger you to drink anything other than water, which again would be for social reasons, enjoyment, health, nourishment, relaxation, because you're addicted, and there's one more for energy. So again, now we're going to talk about the cues, and some of the cues now, like I was saying, these cues are a little more, they're a little more subjective. They're a little more influential, just a little bit, because with the triggers, you kind of decide when you want to drink what you want to drink. You're going to drink what you want to drink when you want to watch your show, when you go to lunch, or when you want to. But the cues now, the cues is kind of like you're walking through the movie scene, or you're walking, you're the actor in a scene, and you're walking through the different scenes, and because things are there, they kind of let you know, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do in this scene, right? So with the cues now, the cues could be, again, certain people, but these people might have even more influence on your life than just coworkers or just friends, right? Again, these cues can be of certain place, certain time of day, the presence of, certain emotions, the weather, or anything that you basically have ritualized yourself, right? So I want to touch on, again, the differentiation here between people and how people can influence you, right? So if you go by your grandma's house, and your grandma likes to drink a certain thing every time you go by there, and she's, and it's there. When you go by grandma's house, you might feel like, okay, I know grandma got this in her fridge, right? I can definitely go to grandma's house and get this eggnog or whatever out the fridge. So you go there and you go, and you get it, right? That could influence you, psychologically. You might not be thinking about it, you might not be noticing it, but certain people can influence you just based on who they are and their likes and what triggers and cues them, right? Then you also have certain times of day. Why are you not drinking water when you wake up in the morning? Why are you drinking coffee? Why are you drinking orange juice? Why are you drinking milk? Where has this marketing come? I'm saying it's marketing, but where has this come to in your mind? Obviously you have been marketed to do these things. Why aren't you drinking vegetable juice in the morning? Why aren't you drinking soup in the morning? Why is it orange juice, milk, coffee, right? So we've been cued when the sun rises, drink orange juice. That just shows just how much in the matrix some people are, that they you could be controlled, like basically lab rats, right? Because with the lab rat, they do things like that. They trigger, if they have a maze, they know that the rat is going to do the same thing every time, because it's in the same type of situation and scenario, right? If they shine the light on certain animals, they'll go to sleep. They'll wake up. If they turn the light off, they go to sleep, right? They're not going to deviate. They're not going to variate from that, right? So again, then you have certain times, certain places, right, that could cue you to drink something other than water, or to eat something other than water, other than a vegetarian food. Again, I want to kind of remind you that you can apply this stuff to becoming vegan, right? So With that now, if you just coming out of work, or if you come out of if you're doing something every day, right? You could be coming out of your neighborhood, and there could be a Starbucks there, and some people aren't going to have Starbucks in their neighborhood, but I'm hearing that they're building them up, even up in Harlem and everything. So if you come out of your neighborhood and there's a Starbucks there, you could be cued that, hey, I should go in here and I should buy me a latte, a coffee, or a tea from here, right? But where are your cues? Where is the water machine? Where is the cue to go to the water? If you see a water machine, are you cued to go to that? Where is the water store, right? Sometimes they have water fountains in these stores. People don't even know that they exist, right? So you got to think about how these institutions are cueing you to consume what they want you to consume. And it works so well that you can go from city to city, country to country, and you can be cued in the exact same way, because the gas station is always connected to the coffee shop, or there's always a coffee shop in the supermarket. All these things that cue you to consume what they want you to consume. And that's why they label you a consumer. It's not a good thing to be labeled a consumer. So some other things, again, did we touch on certain times of day? I wanted to touch more on that, because with certain times of day, you also have lunchtime. With lunch, you might be cued to drink more coffee, right? And again, then you have the dinner time, where you will be cued to drink more wine or alcohol, something to basically make you feel as though you've either accomplished something throughout the day, or to unwind, when really you could be drinking simple water, but you're furthering your addiction and you're furthering your connection to this matrix that is probably making you feel as though you have to drink these things in the first place, right? So again, we talked about the certain time of day. We talked about the certain places in the presence of certain people. There's also certain emotions and moods that you might feel, and that with this you got to definitely pay attention to, because this is something that you have control over. You definitely have power and control over your mood and emotions. They might still be more influential than whether you decide to drink something for enjoyment, right? So, or whether you decide to drink something for relaxation. But with your emotions, sometimes they can catch you unaware, where your emotions now, if you're feeling down, you might drink a very high caloric drink that's going to make you fat, going to make you more depressed, right? And going to make you want to drink it some more the next day when you look in the mirror, or, whenever you're just not feeling good about yourself. If you are excited, you might want to drink you might want to, drink you a fruit juice. If you're excited, you might want to drink you an energy drink. If you're about to do something that's going to get you to feel a certain way, you might drink a certain drink, right? And then we have the weather. Why is it we only drink hot cocoa when it's cold outside, right? Why have we been so programmed to drink hot chocolate when it's cold outside? Hot chocolate is a really good thing. Cacao is a really good thing to consume, right? Of course, not on a regular basis. And of course, you don't want to get addicted to the substance. But why are we not told that cacao is good all year round, right? Why is it only when it's cold outside when they can make a buck off of us, right? Also with the weather, why is it that you don't drink lemonade in the winter, right? You should be drinking lemonade too. Is also a good thing to consume regularly to cleanse your body, to cleanse you, right? But you're only told to drink lemonade when it's hot, or you're given little cues and trigger. Look at Beyonce's song Lemonade. She comes out with it in the heat of the summer, right? And again, you have any behavior that basically you have ritualized, and I know you can't really see me in this video anymore. That's all right. But any behavior that you have basically ritualized that causes you to drink something or consume something, again, we're talking about vegan, other than water or vegan or vegetarian food, right? So you could be making these rituals up by yourself, or it could be something that somebody else is doing. Like maybe after a long hot bath, you might go and have something unique to drink that you only drink after you have this long hot bath, right? Or it could be that it could be a food truck that only comes around on payday, and if you don't buy this drink that's so rare off this food truck on that payday, you're not going to see that food truck again, or you're not going to have the money again, or whatever. So, you ritualistically continue to do the same thing over and over again. So think about those cues and those triggers that lead you to drinking stuff other than water, right? And one thing that can help is if you also, if you log it in your mind, but also if you are able to actually physically log this, maybe on a piece of paper or in an app that you can get from the Play Store, whatever, right? To actually begin to think, though, to start thinking about the things that you're doing will really help, right? Because these are ways that we are definitely locked into the system and kept as slaves. And it's like, we don't need to be cued and triggered like lab rats, like sheep, of what to drink and what to consume. We definitely need to be drinking more water, right? Because 80% of the people, just even in America, are dehydrated. Chronic dehydration, that's affecting your whole health perspective, your whole outlook on life. You can get headaches from not drinking enough water, impotency, dry skin, age. You basically can age. I'll talk about the health factors next. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll talk about the health benefits of drinking water. And it's a lot, but I'm going to see if I can condense it into one video the next time. So look out for that. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe. Join the link I have to get you on my email list, so that way you can see my next videos or any videos that I might not post on here because I might think that they're just too healthy. And I might want to post it on another page. Or I might just write a blog about it. So join those links. Again, subscribe to King Noble's page. Thanks to him, I'm able to even do this type of research. I'm able to look into all this and to help you out with this. So definitely don't get it twisted, though. I'm not trying to send anybody off onto a health rant where all you care about is drinking water for the rest of your life. This is just something to definitely get you on the right path, and the path to liberation, to freedom, and to revolution of our people, so we can continue to nation build, right? And basically be black supremacists that we are supposed to be. So thanks for watching. Peace.